We have arrived at the popular Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache circuit in Interlagos, Sao Paulo for the running of the Brazilian Grand Prix, the final round of the 2015 GP4 Offline Championship. Coming into this week, along with the championship decider being a talking point, the final 6 seats for 2016 have been confirmed. So let's get right into this. The first team news we have today is that after a tough decision and a lot of speculation with it going back and forth, Red Bull have announced that 2009 World Champion Miklos Gal will remain with the team for another season. Miklos has had a pretty up and down season due to this year's Red Bull not being up with the pace of Mercedes and Ferrari, and the car on occasions having a lot of reliability problems. However, there have been some good moments for Miklos this year, including some brilliant performances towards the back end of the season, and his best moment of course coming from this year's Monaco Grand Prix, where he took his first win since Brazil 2013. He'll be looking to have a better year in 2016. I hope that Red Bull will build a car that can challenge for the championship next year, as he craves to become the third driver, maybe fourth if circumstances play out this week, to become a double world champion. He will partner alongside Armar next year, who will leave Williams to join the Milton Keynes based team. This news also means that Robert Ionescu will be leaving the team at the end of the season. However, luckily for him, another team has come to his rescue and he has been able to secure a drive in 2016. The team that he will be joining in 2016 will be Williams. Robert has had a similar year to Miklos, which is why Red Bull was faced with a tough decision to decide on who to partner Armar. He currently lies 7th in the Drivers' Championship with an opportunity to finish 6th this week if circumstances play out during tomorrow's race. He may feel disappointed with this move as he was hoping that he would be retained by Red Bull in 2016. However, because Red Bull have chosen to retain Miklos, he has been left with this option. At least he can consider himself lucky that he had a backup plan due to him playing his cards right in the choices during the sign-off. He'll be looking to prove himself next year and hope to get right into the sharp end next season due to Williams currently being ahead of Red Bull in the Constructors. His move next year essentially means that he and Armar will be swapping seats in 2016. In terms of who his teammate will be, that has also been announced, as after much speculation about who will be at Williams as well, it has been announced that Frenchman Romain Quarg will remain with the Oxfordshire-based team for another season. Romain hasn't had the year that he expected after finishing runner-up in the Drivers' Championship last season to Jay McKenzie. He currently lies 6th in the Drivers' Championship due to him suffering from a lot of bad luck during the season, which is also why he is currently being beaten by his current teammate Armar. His best moment this year though has surely got to come during qualifying in Abu Dhabi, where he took his first pole position of the season but was unable to convert it into a win due to crashing out with the Red Bull of Miklos Gal. He'll be looking to put this season behind him and look to have an even better year in 2016. As mentioned earlier, he will partner alongside former arch nemesis Robert Ionescu due to Armar moving to Red Bull. The fourth team news we have today is that after much speculation regarding this seat, it has been announced that GP2 Championship contender and current Lotus test driver Teravi Nalteranon will be promoted to the top class in 2016, as he has been announced to be promoted to a race seat at Lotus when the team becomes Renault next season. Teravi has only been in the GP4C fraternity for 2 seasons, but in the 2 years that he spent in GP2, he has made a lasting impression. He finished 2nd in last year's championship, and he has a slim possibility this week to win the GP2 title after a respectable fight all season with current championship leader in that series Gabriel Gomez, who will also be promoted to the top class next season with Haas. His move to the top class this season will give him a huge confidence boost, as he'll be looking to make an absolute impression next season. He will partner alongside David Greenwood next season, who was announced to be remaining at the team at the Belgian Grand Prix. This news sadly means that George Rowe will have to potentially sit on the sidelines next season, as for the 2nd time in his career he has been left without a drive. The penultimate team news we have today is that after a tough decision, McLaren have announced that Brit Oliver Glazebrook will remain with the Woking-based team for another season. Oliver has had another shaky season, with him yet again being outpaced by a teammate, this time in the form of Franco Lopez. However, he has been able to show some great form during the season, including Spain and Italy, where he finished 6th and 4th respectively. He currently lies 14th in the Drivers' Championship and will be looking to remain there due to the close competition that is behind him. He'll be looking to finally have a breakthrough season in 2016 and help McLaren develop even further with the Honda engine. He will be under a lot of pressure though next season due to him partnering alongside 2007 World Champion and a returning Jiri Mata, who was announced to be returning to McLaren at Honda's home race. The final team news we have of 2016 is that Sauber have announced that their current driver Roberto Gambo will remain with the team for next year. Roberto has had a miserable 2015 after coming off the back of an impressive 2014 when he was at Marussia. He currently lies 21st in the Drivers' Championship, 3 points ahead of the man who he will be partnering next year, Bartosz Klos, due to vast amounts of bad luck the Italian has endured throughout the year. He has only finished in the points twice this season, which came at Hungary and USA. He'll be looking to put this year behind him and work to drag himself and the team up the grid in 2016. As mentioned, he will partner alongside Bartosz Bartosz Klos next season, who was announced at the last race to be leaving Haas to join Sauber. As a result of this news, we now have a complete grid for 2016. So just to recap, here are the drivers and teams for 2016 in the current Constructors' Championship order. Ferrari will retain multiple champions Florian Volker and Joseph Willows, Mercedes will retain 2014 champion Jay McKenzie and Brit Wilnella, Williams will retain Roman Quarg and he'll be joined by former nemesis Robert Ionescu, Red Bull will retain 2009 world champion Miklos Gau and he'll be joined by popular Brit Amar Kar, Force India will retain Rick Yan and he'll be joined by Argentine Franco Lopez, the rebranded Renault team will retain David Greenwood and he'll be joined by GP2 Championship contender Tavinel Terranon, McLaren will retain Oliver Glazebrook and he'll be joined by the return of 2007 world champion Yimi Mata, Toro Rosso will once again retain 2011 GP2 champion Franco Gamba and he'll be joined by 2014 DTM champion and a returning Michael Mocho, Sauber will retain Roberto Gamba and he'll be joined by Polish driver Bartosz Klos, the renamed Manor Racing team will retain Etienne Jones and he'll be joined by 2014 GP2 champion Nicolas Pascali, and Haas will have a new lineup in the form of Irishman Evan Byrne and Gabriel Gomez. With these news out of the way, we now know that these 5 drivers will not be on the grid in 2016. These are Haas's Kirishima De Rosa, Marussia's Mateusz Terwick, and the biggest ones being Toro Rosso's Robert Hunter, Force India's Vedran Vedrina, and Lotus's George Rowe. There is a chance that some of the drivers we have mentioned may end up as test drivers in 2016, with some of them being offered a role after qualifying. So if any of you 5 drivers are watching the stream right now, keep an eye out in your inboxes on either Twitter, Discord, or maybe even YouTube, Facebook or email, as you could be sent an offer. Speaking of test drivers, most of them have already been announced and they are on your screen right now. Ferrari will once again have Jared Fosbury, Mercedes will have Lean Campana, Williams will yet again have Roland Mottran, McLaren will have Lorenzo Tomaselli, Toro Rosso will yet again have Zachary Fitzwater, Sauber will have 2015 DTM champion Balint Zolga, and Manor will have Felix Sontag. The other 4 teams, Red Bull, Force India, Renault and Haas, are still yet to announce theirs, with offers being made to certain drivers after qualifying ahead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. They have until Friday to make a decision, and if they don't reply before then, the offer will be sent to someone else. In other news, the lineups for GP2 next year have also been announced, which I am about to announce to you right now. Racing Engineering will retain Paolino Tomaselli and he'll be joined by Nicolas Zorbach, ART will retain Robin Kieles and he'll be joined by Ferrari test driver Jared Fosbury, Dams will retain the services of Thomas Pascal and Isaac Fachiret, Rapax will once again retain Serbian Suzana Radovojevic and she'll be joined by Chinese woman Lauren Chung, ensuring an all-female lineup at Rapax. Campos will have Lean Campana and Rodrigo Gomez, Carlin will have DTM graduates Bent Valdinger and Joel Hotter, Arden will have Alessandro Tomaselli and DTM graduate Xavi Perez, Trident will retain Jamie Griffiths and he'll be joined by Formula E graduate Davey Suarez, Russian Time will retain the services of Daniel Makama and Maxim Titkov, MP Motorsport will retain Max Skillen and he'll be joined by Andre Vaderi, and the new Prema Racing team will have the services of Henry Watzel and 2015 DTM champion and a returning name to GP2, Balint Zolga. The drivers who have not been able to secure a race seat in the top class or GP2 will have to apply for either DTM or Formula E if they want to race next season. Sign-ups for those 2 series are still currently open, but will close in the next few days, so you better be quick if you want to be in either one of them. And finally, in other news, these are the criteria that the championship contenders need in order to win the title. Jay McKenzie will need a bit of an ass to retain the World Championship this year, as he is 25 points behind his German rival Florian Volker. So which world champion will touch the brass ring this year? Will Jay McKenzie achieve the near impossible and become the second back-to-back champion in GP4 OC history, or will Florian Volker make even more history and become the first ever 4-time world champion in the series and become the first Ferrari world champion in GP4 OC history? Let's hope for a cracking decider in Brazil. And that is it, not just for this week but for this season of the GP4 OC News. Once again, I would like to thank each and every one of you for the support you have given for this series. Your support has been increasing every season and it's support like this that gets me motivated to do this series. I also want to take this time to thank Rick for helping me with the decisions for the 2016 drivers, as this year has been filled with many hard decisions, especially with a few teams this season, but we eventually got through it. And I would also like to thank Yuri for giving me the opportunity to temporarily take over the series while he is away in the military, as I have had a lot of fun hosting this and I have learnt a lot about the game that I didn't know before I took over. I also want to thank everyone for the support you have given me throughout 2015, and I cannot wait to host my final top class season in 2016 before Yuri comes back. The GP4 OC News will return midway in 2016, where we will have, excluding the pilot episode, a record 10 episodes in 2016 due to having the longest calendar in GP4 OC history, so do be on the lookout for that. But until then, I have been JWF1, enjoy the season finale, and I will see you very, very soon. you